Alright, welcome to Menu Heroes Digest, the test edition.
Yes.
This will be on the test, so pay attention, you dorks.
Mm-hmm. So Nintendo, when you promised us, you're going to give us the Super Mario movie Crash Pratt edition, or at least like a trailer for it this week, and there's no trailer.
Okay, so they did promise that?
There was at least a poster.
Somebody said something about how it's going to be released.
Yeah.
But then the trailer, they're like, oh, we're going to release it next year or something.
Well, obviously the movie's being released next year, but like there was going to be a trailer. Or at least there was word going around the internet. There was going to be the official trailer was this week.
But no, it was just a Twitter account opening, so who knows? Anyway, that and more on this week's episode of Menu Heroes Digest. Alrighty, so yeah, while we were playing that intro, Jordan got turned into a zombie.
Yeah, but like regular boring zombie, not the cool fungus zombie with like the bloom heads and everything.
God, it's been forever since I played The Last of Us. I actually have it on the shelf, so I can re-experience it.
Yeah, again. Remastered again.
No, I didn't get The Last of Us Part 1. I got The Last of Us Remastered. Mm-hmm. I wasn't going to pay $60 for a name change. I got that for like $5.
Yeah, you want to save your money for the remastered definitive edition.
The Last of Us Definitive Edition Part 1. So, this week, HBO released... I know, HBO.
Hold on. Yeah, just... We all got our feelings of HBO and Warner Brothers, but I thought this trailer looked cool.
So, I didn't see the trailer. I did watch other videos for this week, so, hi.
Okay.
Mr. You don't watch anything. I don't, but...
I mean...
Don't call me out like that. So, looking at the pictures, it does look pretty faithful, from what I've heard, to The Last of Us.
It does. I say visually things... like definitely feel like if I was imagining in my head what a Last of Us show or movie would be, yeah, a lot visually is there. You know, even like Pedro Pascal as freaking the lead, like as Joel is like it's like okay, obviously it's Pedro Pascal, not the same ethnicity as Joel in the game, but it's like it still visually looks good, and but I mean, I know there's been some concern like it looks maybe too much like the Walking Dead show, but like I think that was always gonna be.
They're both zombie shows.
Yeah, I mean, and also, and yes, unfortunately, some people have because Ellie in the trailer does not look exactly like Elliot Page. I'm sorry. There's people complaining about her look, but it's like.
Wait, what?
Well, because
Elliot Page.
Yes, because I know Elliot Page was not the star or anything involved with the original Last of Us games, but the fact that like the creators of Last of Us had admitted that they use Elliot Page's image or their faces as the model for Ellie is big. And yes, Elliot's dead name was Ellen Page. So I'm trying to be respectful, going with his name now, Elliot. I'm trying to be respectful.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know. It's just...
Anyway, sorry, I made a mistake reading the comments. Anyway,
it's sad because like sometimes I'll look at comments and I'll be lucky to find some nice, respectable people that might offer their concerns or their thoughts on something, but like we'll do it in a respectable way. And then you'll have like, the TV Ellie looks ugly. She looks like a girl. She
looks like a little girl.
Yeah,
that's the point. Little girls are ugly. No, I'm just kidding. But
your words, not mine.
You as an adult male or as an adult in general should not be finding little girls attractive. Yeah. So. Is she really the ugly one here? I accidentally dropped the mic.
it's just like, okay.
It's okay, we get it. You hate people.
But it's just eating the fact of like, okay, they didn't get a young actress who looks like Elliot Page did when they were
pre-transition.
Pre-transition. But even then, it's like it's like, most little girls don't have the cute bun faces, or like, some girls have a forehead. Okay, it happens. All right.
Besides, this is, it's more realistic. Not everyone is, perfect looking.
Except for Joel. Except for Pedro Pascal. He's the perfect lead man.
But yeah, it seems like The Last of Us is going to be pretty accurate to the game, which kind of brings up a thought I had. If you remake something like a game into a show, and it's like one for one exactly the same, is there really a point in doing one or the other?
It does bring up the Watchmen argument, because that was a movie trying very hard to be, at least visually look like the Watchmen graphic novel. However, many people pointed out that while it looks like stuff from the novel, some of like Alan Moore's original messaging of like him making fun of like the right wing and like libertarian ideology.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Zack Snyder, being libertarian, like took that stuff at face value, because like characters like Rorschach you're supposed to not like Rorschach in the graphic novel. He's supposed to be seen like a QAnon guy nowadays.
Is that the guy whose face is?
Yes, based on Rorschach. That's why his name.
I just
Rorschach.
wanted to double check.
Yes, but in the movie, he's seen as this.
As the hero.
Well, yeah, he's seen as the guy who is right, who's like his ideology is correct, and that right there already tells you you didn't quite understand the message that Alan Moore was telling.
And I mean, I think it's different when you're making movies from books. I don't think you fall into the same trap if you make the movie exactly like the book. Well, that can prove some problems of its own, but I don't think you're likely to fall into the exact same trap, because books and movies are different experiences. Books typically have more details. And we hate her, but the Harry Potter movies are a good example of, an adaptation that, before we learned she was a terrible person would have been worth checking out both. God, I wish she was not still in charge of Harry Potter.
I'm going to try and keep this on topic here, because I do have my own personal thoughts on this. Not just the fact that like there's some shots that look very similar to the Walking Dead show. It's the fact that like The Last of Us and Uncharted are both modern, AAA games that feel like you're playing a movie or a miniseries. And when you try to do it in live action, it does make me think of like, well then, like, how's it that different from what I'm getting in the game? In fact, in the game, I'm at least making the choices.
Yeah.
And this just kind of takes away the option choice, which is always going to be a problem whenever you're taking a video game and adapting it to some other medium.
Yeah.
Because the options of choices and your decisions are going to be taken away.
Although,
so what else are you going to offer besides that?
Yeah, and it's, for some things, the transition is actually done very well. Like, for example, the Legend of Zelda mangas. I love them.
Yeah, especially Ocarina of Time. That one's really good.
I don't remember if I've actually read all of that one.
That one
I know the Twilight...
gets even darker than the original game.
I know the Twilight Princess one is, like, spread across several volumes.
Oh, yeah, that was good, too. But I'll tell you later why... To me, Ocarina of Time manga is even darker than the game, but...
Well, don't spoil it, though.
Okay, well, that's why I'm saying it afterwards.
No, I mean, don't spoil it for me.
Okay. Fair enough.
Alright.
Okay, so we're keeping on the topic of Warner Brothers, because it is Warner Brothers and HBO that did make Last of Us, this show. But there's a bunch of stuff they're not going to have on their platform very long.
And you're not going to have it on your platform very long. Warner Brothers is starting this process of deleting purchases of their digital content off your library. So, recently, a fan tweeted that their copies of Final Space had been deleted from their digital Amazon library. And since they were digital copies, they don't have physical copies of it. And that just brings up a whole bunch of questions. Like, so if they can just delete the content that you buy, that means you don't own the content at all. You don't even own a copy of it. And that can extend to video games.
Yeah.
Like, you could own a digital copy of Fallout 4, and Bethesda's like, oh, sorry, we're not letting PlayStation players play Fallout anymore because Xbox owns us.
Well, we just saw a video. I just showed you a video about Rockstar doing that with their 3
and Rockstar did that.
GTA games. They removed the original trilogy, the original version of the trilogy, off of nearly every online store because they wanted the Definitive Edition to be the priority, or the people will buy, i.e. trick them into getting it. That's the version you can get, and then that ups their profits and their sales, and so that's already shown to be there. But this is the extra mile of, even if you bought a copy of
you can't get it anymore.
No, it's gone. But that has always been a thing. It's you don't. Again, this is why people who do defend physical media, this is their main argument. Is we can at least keep it on a shelf, have it be there.
This is why people pirate.
Yeah.
I mean, people pirate because they don't want to pay. Sure, people also pirate because it's not available in their country. Mm-hmm. But people also pirate because it's not available anymore. Mm-hmm. And another bad side effect of what Warner Brothers is doing is whenever they write something off for tax purposes, none of the footage can ever be sold again.
So, Infinity Train is truly gone.
You can never sell it, or at least it can't be sold, first party. You could probably buy, if it has physical copies, you can buy the used copies, sure, but you can't buy new versions of it. And it's just...
I feel so bad for not only the creator of Infinity Train, but also Summer Camp Island, because that was another show that just got removed everywhere. And they were about to release the final season. That show was super cute.
And
but apparently it was getting less views than I don't know, the Hammer horror film. I love the Hammer horror films, but I had to be realistic. That's a very niche group of people that's watching those movies. I'm one of them. I watch Horror of Dracula every October. I'm on a short list of that. The number of people who've been watching Infinity Train, that talk about Infinity Train and are trying to get people into the cult of Infinity Train, is crazy. But unfortunately, because they made special contracts for that creator and agreed to licensing agreements that the old regime did, the new regime doesn't want to have anything to do with that. So they're like, oh, screw this, we're going to throw all this out. Mm-hmm. That's what this really is. And while none of this has been confirmed, there is certainly rumors going around that David Zaslav, the new CEO of Warner Brothers, his whole plan is to basically, pretty much just, restructure Warner Brothers just to have it be more presentable, just so he can sell it to Universal. Again, that's just a rumor. I have to say, there is nothing yet to confirm that.
A film rumor. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry.
It's film theory.
But yeah, I know. The joke was that I've replaced it, Jordan.
Okay. All right. But the point being, it's not that uncommon. It's not... That idea is not unbelievable because of everything we've seen with Warner Brothers do. Yeah. So, if we're still dealing with the fallout, both the good but also the bad of Disney acquiring 20th Century Fox, and I can't even imagine what's going to be like if Universal does actually try and buy Warner Brothers. That
People are not going to like that.
Everyone
dislikes that.
Again, more jobs are going to be lost, and so much IP, so many content, so many creators are going to have less. There's going to be less options for people to make new content, because it's it's going to be only a handful of companies that are making movies and shows, and they're we got these big properties. Why do we need you?
Yeah,
and that's the sad truth. It's a future more likely to happen.
Yeah.
BoJack Horseman protecting the future.
Mm-hmm. So Twitch, we got more companies that are screwing people over.
I'm shocked, Steven. Not really.
So, it used to be that streamers' revenue share on Twitch was 70-30. Now it is 50-50. And this is not been received well. Everyone disliked that. So 70-30 is the standard revenue sharing split, Especially because creators are the ones creating the content.
Yep.
And this is a long article. I'm not going to read it all.
But basically, there's constantly drama going on, and even a guy who's all about one of the guy who's in charge of helping marketing, helping produce Twitch streamers and getting them make their content on time, or help them get the necessary stuff. Even he's saying he's having to talk with a lot of different streamers, a lot of Twitch content creators, and being everybody's just they're really upset by this, and we're all dealing with a headache right now of trying to make sure that they don't lose their income or their revenue or whatever. And it's unfortunately, we've been seeing a lot of issues going on with Twitch in the last year, actually the last couple of years, but definitely last year especially.
It's all been going downhill. I feel like it started when Amazon bought Twitch.
Steven, it seems like there's a connection here.
Correlation.
I can't put my finger on it.
Who knows?
Couldn't have any. Last I heard, Amazon was super involved with trying to help their employees get a decent living wage.
They love their employees.
I just don't understand what's the problem here, and why is there so many issues with Twitch?
I mean, we spoke about how Ninja is leaving.
Hot scoops.
We talked about how Ninja is no longer exclusive to Twitch. This is one of the many reasons why. A lot of Twitch streamers are jumping ship. They're going to YouTube. They're going to other sites that I don't remember the name of right offhand.
I'm seeing mostly YouTube, but also YouTube has its own fair share of problems. We just covered
the racist bias.
So, but it's and then even then it's there's not that many sites I know of that can do streaming. Certainly not on the level of the Twitch.
Facebook's the other one I was thinking of. A lot of people do use Facebook gaming.
Okay,
I know it's Facebook. It's Mark Zuckerberg.
It's Facebook. But I guess
all the major streaming sites are owned by all the major tech companies.
Again, if I were Mark Zuckerberg, I would
stop pretending to be human.
Yeah, I just take off the mask and be But no, I'd see the opportunity to be people are mad at Twitch now? Oh, here's my chance. I was here's my chance to impress the humans.
Okay, so let's go back to GTA 6. We talked about it last week. We've talked about it last week, actually. I think was about the only time we really talked about GTA 6. The hacker behind it.
Yeah. We talked about Rockstar and other GTA-related stuff.
That's true. We've talked about the definitive edition and how it's definitively the worst version.
You will never forget Take-Two and Rockstar.
So, the hacker who leaked gameplay videos of GTA 6 in its early stages is a teenager. It's a 17-year-old in London. To specify the United Kingdom, Oxfordshire.
Yeah, that's not London.
It says the London Police. Okay, that's why I said London.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But
London is, London is a city, and then it's a city inside of a city.
Mm-hmm.
London is complicated. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's. I mean, I'm not here to say like I'm the most expert of Britain ever. No, it's like I didn't mean to become off as
an Anglophile.
Yeah.
But no, it's the London police announced that a 17-year-old was arrested in relation to the GTA 6 and the Uber hack. I also specified United Kingdom because there is the London police in Canada. So anyway, this teenager was supposedly located in cooperation with the FBI and the British Cybercrime Unit, and is presumably connected to the leaked GTA 6 gameplay videos. This actually has not been officially confirmed yet, but he has been charged with 2 counts of computer misuse just one day after the arrest was made.
I'm actually surprised not more.
Yeah. Well, he hacked GTA 6 and then Uber.
And then also threatened to, basically try to blackmail Rockstar and Take-Two. Like, I feel like that's another added crime there.
So he is there are rumors that say that this teen is part of a notorious hacker group called...
I just saw the name.
No, I'm not saying it. I'm sorry.
That's Pooh.
It's LASPUS $. Okay? I'm not saying it. You can't... So anyway, this hacker group has infiltrated the systems of Microsoft, Nvidia, Ubisoft, Samsung, and Rockstar Games. Yeah. And this was on the evening of September 22nd that he was arrested. Now, obviously, they're not going to give out his identity because he's a minor. Yeah. But, he's going away for a long time.
Yeah, he's at 5 stars already. I had to.
What's up, bud?
Do you know what a black light is?
I put it on Mama's bed.
Okay.
Like, I'm aware what a black light is, but why does he need it?
Well, Mama bought a black light because she got into special nail polish that only glows in black light.
Oh, okay.
Right. For when she goes to raves. No.
Wink, wink.
Oh my God.
Love you.
So, speaking of piracy, because we mentioned it earlier,
yes,
Ubisoft's big 2022 pirate blockbuster. Arg! It's been delayed, matey.
Oh, he took a bite of gum. Gotta go. No, never again. Stop it, Jordan.
Is that the One Piece?
That's the 4 Kids One Piece rap. Yes.
Oh God.
I'm sorry, my brain just went there.
It's okay. Xander's been watching One Piece, obsessed with it.
Is he watching? Is he watching the sub? Please tell me he's watching the sub.
No, Xander can't read that fast. Xander only learned to read 2 to 3 years ago.
Steven, please tell me he's watching the Funimation dub, at least.
I don't know. Does the Funimation dub still have the cigarette smoking in it?
Yes.
Okay, then yes, he's watching the Funimation dub.
Okay, he's safe. He's free from the trauma that I dealt with and many others have.
Yeah, he's not going to be watching subbed anime because he just can't read that fast. He just can't. It's not a dig at him. It's just, Anyway, Skull and Bones. This was Ubisoft's only major fall blockbuster. It was supposed to come out in November, and it's been delayed until March 9th, 2023.
Along with the Avatar game.
Yes, the Avatar.
Not the Last Airbender.
The blue people.
Yes.
So, the latest technical test of Skull and Bones was on September 19th, or rather, it ended on September 19th. According to one source who was involved, the gameplay was more refined than in previous tests, but overall player progression still seemed shallow. So, Ubisoft wrote in their official announcement, "Ahoy there, privateers! Our team is hard at work, polishing and balancing the experience ahead of the worldwide launch.
We're squabbing the poop deck, we are.
As a result, we've made the tough decision to move our release date to March 9th, 2023.
We'll be happy to take your booty that day.
So basically, they're happy to announce that they are holding an open beta of the game in the near future. Yay! So keep your spyglasses trained on our social media for more news and announcements. So this game was originally announced in 2017. It was going to be a session-based multiplayer ship battler. It, disappeared in 2018. And then was delayed. And then delayed. And then delayed again. Because it was rebooted and retooled to focus on crafting and surviving like Minecraft. And so, when it was finally re-revealed earlier this year, it focused on players completing missions to rank up their reputation, unlock new crafting blueprints, and then collect the materials required to build the stuff.
Okay. For some reason, you were doing that voice, and all I could think of was that one Windfall Island shopkeeper who does the game, he has the little picture and everything, yeah, that guy,
Sploosh!
Sploosh!
Kaboom!
That guy. I was thinking of that guy.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to you.
Yeah.
I love Wind Waker. Anyway,
It's so good.
it really is. People would take
give
it
to us, Nintendo.
if
Release
it-
the Switch.
if it had the
Please.
graphics like Twilight Princess. People would have taken it more seriously.
I don't care. It's gorgeous.
Oh, I know. It's a gorgeous game. And, its art style just makes it that much more darker.
Okay, yes. Obviously, Ocarina of Time, then Majora's Mask, those two came out. Okay, the next one was Wind Waker, and that does feel like the odd one out, but it's still
Such a
really
good game.
game.
I mean, yes, the overworld feels a bit empty, but let's be honest, the overworld in Ocarina of Time... Is it Ocarina?
Ocarina. Yes.
Okay, Ocarina of Time also feels kind of empty at times.
And also you're exploring an ocean. You're supposed to, sail off and everything.
The most intriguing part of Wind Waker, and then we'll get back to this, is the lore.
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
Anyway, I did a whole video on, how the Rito evolved into the Zoro.
It's like...
Wait, is that right? Sorry, the
Zora.
Zora evolved into the Rito.
Yes. Okay. And also, it basically is like a weird mix of... Again, it's like the old Legend of Zelda games mixed with the movie Waterworld. And it somehow works.
And, it was always interesting because you only really met a handful of Gorons. And
Yeah.
I kept trying to, theorize about that. I think I did a small theory about how the Goron could have possibly met the Hero of Time. Or known about him, been alive during that time, because Goron's lifespans are relatively long.
Yeah.
And he seems to... So when the merchant sees Link, he recognizes... At first he thinks he knows him.
Yeah.
And like the Deku Tree does.
Yeah, okay, so that same, Beetle?
No, not Beetle. The Gorons.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Gorons can live for a very
but I'm
long
just trying
time.
to think, I played Wind Waker so many times, but I'm like...
It's been
I know, but it's like...
a very
I
missable
don't even
detail.
I somewhat remember seeing a Goron in Wind Waker, but I'm trying to think. Obviously there was... Obviously in the part where you're going to Metalese, she's awakening the spirit within her, and her ancestor is a Zoran and everything. And that, I do think
Zor,
that's...
yeah.
that just confirms your theory of, the Ritos being descendants of Zorans.
I mean, Nintendo also confirmed it, so...
Oh, yeah.
But so the Goron is actually... It's very easy to miss him because he's not a necessary character to meet. He's involved in the trade sequence. But when you first see him, he has this look in his eye. And, you can tell because of how he talks. Where he thinks he recognizes you. And then, he's like...
Oh, on the destroyed island.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, that's a Goran. Yes. Oh my god, I can't believe I almost forgot about that guy.
And, I did a theory about how he possibly could have been alive during that time because, Gorons have a long time span. It was. I think I did an interesting. I think I did a good job because I explored average lifespans and stuff. Anyway,
We have to go back to Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones. The graphics are not that impressive according to some people, and this is going to be a $70 game for next gen consoles.
And also, there's like rare wares, like their popular pirate game.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves, yes, which is still going. It's still getting updates. Which means, obviously, there can be more than one pirate game. There's so many ninja and samurai games out there, like, of course, Ghost of Tsushima, Sekiro, obviously. But, I do. The whole pirate genre, the pirate subgenre,
It feels like it's not been explored a whole lot.
With the description of Skull and Bones being it's a fantasy pirate thing, which obviously there's Pirates of the Caribbean, that definitely goes with fantasy and supernatural elements. But a pirate game where you really are exploring different islands or meeting the various different sea creatures.
And I mean, let's be honest. I thought Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag was a good game. I thought it was fun.
I kind of dropped out of the Assassin's Creed series a long time ago.
That's fine.
It's just I couldn't keep doing the one game a year.
Yeah,
and Ubisoft could not do the one game a year clearly because oh man, what was it?
But yeah, Skull and Bones actually started as an expansion for Black Flag. But let's move on. We've spent too much time on piracy.
Or we spent too much time on Wind Waker, then we had to go back to Skull and Bone. Let's be real.
So, like we mentioned, it's a $70 game.
Yes.
And we knew this was coming, and it's this fall.
It's
Companies are starting to raise the price from 60 to 70. A lot of games released at 60 or less this year, but it's finally starting.
Unfortunately, the game industry is it's similar in the movie industry and also in the comic book industry, in that they got increased the prices because inflation, trying to maintain production and living wages of their employees. Even though the companies find ways to undermine their employees, there are some benefits they have to meet. Otherwise, your stuff, which certain companies still try and undermine and really undercut their employees and everything.
So some of these games include Gotham Knights, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which is the reboot, not the original.
I keep thinking how many Modern Warfare 2s are there?
God of War Ragnarok, the Callisto Protocol.
The Callisto Protocol.
Callisto.
Sure.
Say it wrong just to make you mad.
Sure.
Forspoken, Dead Island 2, Hogwarts Legacy, Wild Hearts, and Skull and Bones.
Yes.
And somebody did point out that back in the day, a Super Nintendo game was typically $70.
Yeah.
And, adjusted for inflation, that is more than $70.
Oh. You kidding me? And considering how there's collectors now that are obsessed with getting the old, cartridges, oh man, you're gonna try and look it up the prices.
Yeah, it's not hard. We assume that,
1991. I was only a year old.
Where's the? Just let me. Oh, inflation converter. There we go. No, wrong inflation. No. So $69.99. No, we'll just do 70.
Yes.
Shut up. Is $152.
Yep.
Cartridges were not cheap back then, and that was part of the reason why games actually moved to CD format. The whole disc format, the advantage was it was cheaper.
And you could do FMV movie games.
Yeah.
You remember those?
Oh my god.
Like Fox Hunt?
You know what?
Developed by Capcom?
Shh.
I have not forgotten.
It's quiet hours. Quiet down.
Yes, I know. They want to keep it quiet too.
Oh my god. Ian, it's interesting because, obviously my mind goes to Final Fantasy VII because it was originally going to be for Nintendo, but they didn't switch to disc, and it was going to be super expensive to produce it for the 64, so they were like, let's do it for the PlayStation. And I've been playing the remake, and it's really interesting because the remake only covers about 25% of what's on the first disc of Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, yeah.
And, there's 2 more games at least planned, and, the way they've fleshed it out is really interesting. I've enjoyed it a lot. But that's not the story.
Yeah.
The story is games cost $70 now.
Yeah.
And we already saw one of these on the Switch of all places. And with a game that's over 10 years old. Skyrim.
Ah, you're finally awake.
So,
do it.
Skyrim Anniversary Edition released last year. And it released recently. In fact, this last Thursday on the Nintendo Switch for $70.
Yep.
Now, it does have the DLC, which 60 version comes with.
Does it have the golden horse?
I don't know.
You remember that whole controversy?
No.
It was, so this was in the early days of when DLCs were becoming more common. And Skyrim was one of the first games that was offering DLCs. But the thing is, they were doing individual skins and mods. And the golden horse armor.
Oh my
was one of
god.
the first, and the entire internet lost their minds because it's this is what we're getting for this price. We gotta pay extra for a skin for our horse. Are you kidding me? Oh man, and that wasn't even the worst one. To me, the worst one is still Street Fighter Cross Tekken, where even though there were characters that were already on the disc, that already programmed in the game, but they made that they were locked in. You had to pay for those DLC characters, even though they were already on the discs. So that to me is the worst example of DLC. But it was a wild time. Oh, it's still wild now, but Skyrim and some Capcom games were the first to really go into the DLC, be the pioneers, the founding fathers of DLC content.
But yeah, so this, includes the Creation Club content and fishing. Ooh. And it's $70.
But there better be no farming.
On other consoles, it's $50. On the Switch, it's $70. Some people are speculating it's because Microsoft owns Bethesda, and therefore,
Yeah, raising the price for anything that isn't a Microsoft or, product.
Yeah, so, whatever. Let's talk about a game console that's not Microsoft, Nintendo, or Sony. The Stadia. Google is killing its cloud gaming service. In case you missed it because you're living under a rock.
It's just now dying. I'm sure. I thought it was already dead.
Wait, Google had a cloud gaming service?
No, I knew of that.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Now, I gotta admit, this white controller with orange, undertones, pretty sleek looking. But, that's looking sleek's not enough to, sell a console.
And actually, you're kind of... Honestly, the way it looks it's some kind of Android that's tired. It looks like it's
It does.
sad,
Why would you point that out?
Either sad or tired.
Looks like it's got bags under its eyes.
Yeah, bags under its eyes. Yeah, it's
it's tired.
I'm so... Please just kill me.
Now,
I'm so tired.
The interesting thing about this is it's refunding everyone.
Good.
Google is shutting it down January 18th, 2023. It's over.
Yeah.
all purchases will be refunded. So that includes purchases of the console, of the controller, and any game you bought. And the fact that they're refunding all of that is crazy because, most times when something's, done for, is like, you bought it and you're out of luck. And, it's just interesting that Google's doing that. Google is not obviously God for doing that now, but it's just very interesting.
Slow your roll, like anyone trying to put Google on a pedestal, you simps. Yeah.
And this kills me because somebody said, just a reminder, this is how Google's CEO chose to kick off the big event for Stadia's reveal.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here. Thank you all for joining us. I suppose I should start out with a confession. I'm actually not a big gamer.
Oh, that's how you want to start your big new game console.
Oh, my dude. It gets so much better because Google had the great, brilliant idea for outside of their game developer conference to have a booth, a small display outlining the history of gaming. Now, there were 3 pedestals. It held Atari's E.T., Mattel's NES Power Glove, and Sega's Dreamcast.
Oh, that last one does hurt, but I understand.
And there was a 4th pedestal that was empty, except for a card that read, "Coming soon." And this was before Google even mentioned the Google Stadia. And
were they already planning their own failure?
It's been added to the exhibit, and the curator who made it is now getting ready to auction it off. Now, it wasn't just like somebody just placed it outside. Google, asked for them to put this display together. And they chose 3 of the biggest flops.
I'm gonna grab the tinfoil in your kitchen and wrap it around my head because I truly think they just set this whole Stadia thing up just to make whoever was the lead guy, make them just humiliate them and make them look bad and tell them this whole idea just to get that guy fired. I'm honestly thinking that was the whole setup because this screams, we know this is bad. We want you all to see how bad this is, and whoever was in charge needs to be shamed from this entire industry and from just the face of the earth because we clearly don't want to work with that guy anymore. Or their marketing team is just like, hey, it'd be better if you just acknowledge that you made a mistake, acknowledge that you made it bad, and you know what? People will be more forgiving of you. Be more willing to laugh it off and forget about it later.
But yeah, so the person who was commissioned to do it did not know about the Stadia at all. So they just put this together, and there was a 4th, and it said "Coming soon." And I guess the idea, their thought process was, let's list innovations within the gaming industry that just did not, or that were ahead of their time, or something like that. And I mean, yeah, the Dreamcast was ahead of its time. The Power Glove, cool concept, just not executed. And then E.T., I'm not exactly sure why they mentioned that. Maybe because it's so noteworthy for being a flop.
Well, it's the fact the guy had to make it over a weekend.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's and people act like that is the absolute worst game Atari ever made.
It's not.
No, it is not. But it's it's the most famous because it's attached to a very popular movie.
And
the story behind it is so fascinating.
The landfill in New Mexico. I wrote a song about this.
That one, it's I think it's not just all Atari ET
It's
games.
not just all Atari ET games, but there were a lot because That's where they dumped all their excess inventory.
Yeah. Again, and
I wrote a song about this.
I am not paid by Mad Muscle, but he did cover this kind of thing in his What Happened, channel.
I wrote a song
so.
called 2600 about the Atari.
You can play it right now?
No, because nobody liked it. No, I thought it was good. I would put a link in the description, but it's on my other channel, which isn't...
I thought you said you were going to make a pedestal similar to these.
No.
Like, here's all the music that was ahead of its time, you see? And like, I don't know, like, something Limp Bizkit on their pedestal. And
oh my god.
The couple that did, the Afternoon Delight, that'd be on there because that song is super overrated. Anyway, moving on.
All right. So, a fan on Reddit has been working with an AI, a machine learning model that can create images from text and fill in details on low-res pictures called Stable Diffusion. And they've been taking models from Fallout 2 and recreating them. So let me get this. Oh, I gotta save the image first. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna show you an example of what they've done. It's not like the creator is hand making these, but it's still pretty cool to see what AI is capable of. So not all examples are perfect, but these are pretty good examples of what the AI can accomplish based off of this, based off these heavily pixelated images.
I mean, it's just, the fact that it almost looks like it is like hand-drawn artwork, it is almost scary in a way.
Yeah. And I mean, there is demand out there for remakes of, the original Fallout games. I wouldn't mind Fallout being available on the Switch. If 3 and 4 reported to the Switch, I'd buy them again.
Same here.
But,
I'm all for trying to, if not remaster games, at least have ports available in other, devices. That way every new generation can... Yes, you are. Yes, you
My God. No, I'm just kidding.
Man, I don't want to hear any of you saying Jordan is horny jokes.
Oh my God.
All right? And you do it. Okay?
I was just petting a cat.
Yeah.
So, talking about things fans are making, because, Super Mario Brothers movie has been in the news.
Yes.
And Chris Pratt was mentioned, as
he did like a small little, I think it was a TikTok of like, it's me. Mario.
I doubt that's going to be the voice he uses.
No, it's not. It's going to be his character. I keep forgetting the name of his character from Onward, but it's going to be that
Marley.
Marley. Yeah. It's gonna. His voice is gonna. That's what his voice is gonna be like.
So
I'm calling it right now.
Somebody has done what everyone talks about doing, and that is working on a remake of the the original Super Mario Brothers game in Unreal Engine. Now, I'll be honest. I'm not super impressed with it, just because. I don't know. I'm just not. I'm not entirely sure why I'm not. It is impressive that he's managed to, learn how to code all this stuff into Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
Like how to work the power-ups, and he's done it all in 3 months by just doing it.
Yeah.
He, doesn't have a whole lot of previous expansion.
I'm on the
experience.
This is a funny joke, but I am impressed by how good the joke looks.
Oh yeah, the joke, the execution it's great.
Yeah.
And World 1-3 looks really interesting.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, playing Super Mario Brothers in a third dimension would add so much of a challenge. It's just interesting to think about.
I mean, there's Super Mario 64.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, like seeing the classic levels recreated.
In terms of the original Super Mario Brother games, actually in 3D, It would be interesting.
Obviously,
I
it
don't-
wouldn't work for everything.
Well,
but-
I think you're gonna get like, what was it like, the 3DS versions of Super Mario Brothers, that edition, where it's just 3D models of Mario.
Oh, New Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah, that's it. New Super Mario Brothers. Yeah.
It's a good series. But no, I mean, like, 3D third person.
Yeah. Again,
Like if they remade Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario 64, which I'm pretty sure somebody's done, because that game gets hacked a lot, or modded.
This was a lot to work with, which is taking the original blueprints of Super Mario Brothers and doing 3D and Unreal 3D on it. But that'd be the next challenge, to try and mod Super Mario 64 with Chris Pratt.
But-
Kind of funny.
But we will, the trailer is coming out October 6th, by the way. So we'll do
Okay, so yeah, I think I must have mixed it. I thought for sure they said this Wednesday for sure it was going to be the trailer, but no, it's October 6th. So.
which is next Wednesday.
Thursday.
Next Thursday. Sorry. And I'll do a little
It's
blind
Thursday,
react,
ain't it?
or I'll do a react or something to it. Just a short.
Do you want me to come over to?
You don't have to come over, but you can if you want, I guess. I'm gonna try and get that Friday off because of the convention, but if I can't, it's not the end of the world, because I didn't ask for it, in super advance. Anyway, the thing I think is most impressive isn't even something the creator made. It's an AI voice bot. It mimics the Honest Trailer voiceover guy, and you've got to listen to this.
I think I know John Bailey's voice. Actually, I subscribe to his YouTube
The
channel.
Honest Trailers.
Yeah, Epic Voice Guy. Yes, and overall seemed like a really nice guy. But I thought for sure he would just brought over to do the voice for this.
No,
But
this is an AI voice
an
bot.
Okay.
So
John Bailey, I love you, but I'm scared for you. I hope you don't lose your job. Yeah.
Imagine a world where Super Mario is a realistic action game starring Chris Pratt.
It's me. I'm Mario.
One man is attempting to make that a reality. The latest.
So yeah, it sounds uncanny.
Just like John Bailey.
It's crazy.
Again, I'm worried for him.
You're out of a job. No,
Come over to Menu Heroes, man.
we won't pay you, but
We got Doritos, man.
I'll give you pizza.
Doritos and pizza, man. We'll promise you, okay?
But yeah,
We'll
so
treat you right.
I'm glad we could end on a good note with fans doing what fans do best, and that is fan stuff.
Yes.
Not the other fan stuff they do, which is complain. We're great at
Or
that.
try and just remove women out of the original product.
Woo! I mean, no. No, I'm just kidding. Women erasure is not good.
No. Eventually, we'll bring the female co-host back, but
We don't have a female co-host. What?
Oh yeah, we don't now because fans modded her out.
Yeah, she never existed. Wink,
Exact-
wink, wink.
Yeah.
Y'all think I'm able to get a girlfriend?
You think we can actually talk to women? Suckers.
Obviously, you've never watched Menu Heroes. Nah, anyway, until next time, stay cool.
I got them.
This has just been a test.
Yeah.
I was the pinnacle, the sign of success. I was the best of the best, I cut above the rest. Everyone else was a clone. I sold millions and millions more. I was in great demand in every store. I was in everyone's home. But something crashed in my core. That little E.T. that we'd seen before. And I thought hype would be high. But then he flopped and now I cry. If I die, put me in a landfill in New Mexico and hide me until the year 2600 arrives. Bury me in concrete, bury me in lies, conspiracies, denials, and insider ties. Promise me that I'll never die. I used to be known for making great games. I was a top producer, a household name. There were no lines that weren't crossed. Beat 'em up, shoot 'em up, adventure arcade. I'll make any game and hit my aim. I was considered the boss. But then I made a mistake. I tried to take on the man who ate, and now my hands are just tied. All thanks to Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde. If I die, put me in a landfill in New Mexico and hide me until the year 2600 arrives. Bury me in concrete, bury me in lies, conspiracies, denials, and insider ties. Promise me that I'll never die. If I die, put me in a landfill in New Mexico and hide me until the year 2600 arrives. Bury me in concrete, bury me in lies, conspiracies, denials, and insider ties. Promise me that I'll never die. Promise me that I'll never die. Promise me that I'll never die. Oh no. Promise me that I'll never die. I'll never die.